we wanted to create what we call the system spotlight, where we're just going to cover very quickly some of the quick features and benefits of SAM, and make sure that you guys at least understand what the purpose is and how you can use it in your own business. As we go through this, I really want to make sure you guys know we've got a lot of new features, a lot of new things. None of them are actually set in stone where they can't be changed. If you look at it, it's like, oh man, Mark, I like this, but it needs to do this, that, or the other thing. Certainly reach out, let me know what it is that you're thinking, and we can discuss it and go through that process of really honing in on what the software does. We're going to do something new, going over a set feature, just one small feature, just kind of showing how that's done, and then answer any questions about that feature, but also make sure that we cover the questions that you guys have in your own system. So we're going to talk about the dashboard itself and how the dashboard has its own widgets that cover things like the landing page, the radar service, the calendar, the outbox, the contacts, and the contact source. So we're gonna cover each one of those kind of in this round real quick. Make sure that you guys understand what those features do and go about that way. So one of the things that you guys will have probably seen if you've gotten into the system within the past couple weeks, we've changed the way the dashboard can look, where you can kind of minimize some of your widgets that's on here. Of course, up at the upper left corner, you can identify what widgets you want to show, which ones you don't, what order they're available to show them in. Whenever you first come in, you know, your dashboard's going to look different, just depends on how you customize it. Like I said, in this upper left corner, you can click on this. You can adjust the order of anything just by grabbing the little drag lines here. You can drag it and drop it to wherever you want. You can turn on or turn off any particular widget that you want. The ones that are important to you, put at the top of the list. And the way that this actually works is it kind of snakes the images based off of your screen size. So the larger the screen that you've got, the more will fit in the screen. If it's a small screen, it kind of goes into one big column. And you know, if you're certainly if you're showing it on a mobile, it's just kind of one big row or column of information. Everything has its own row. For the rate your service stat, which actually, let me see if I've got this last year. Let me just kind of put this up. One of the things that we've got is a landing page area within our landing pages where you can send out a radar service type of questionnaire. And whenever people answer those questions and stuff, it will come in and show you that rating. So it kind of shows you a chart, shows you what their rating is. Whenever you view this piece, you can actually click on each one of these to find out who rated you that way and dig in. If you get somebody that rated you very, very low for whatever reason, you could go in there and do an exploratory, hey, just checking back with you, saw that you didn't like something, hoping we can rectify that type stuff. If somebody you just don't ever want to do business with, I guess you can choose not to do that. But just a quick way to see who rated you and what their score is and kind of what your trend lines are. So that's the radar services. The contact source stats. This is a chart showing you whenever a lead comes in, there is a source field, and you can identify and put as many different choices into that source field as you need. And whenever somebody is added to the database with that particular source, it will then show in the system. So you can identify based off of a date range, You can specify that date range, saying the last, last or this month or last month or whatever, and it will recalculate and show you what those numbers are. There is a configuration area where you can go in and configure which of your sources you actually want to show on the chart. So if there's some that you get occasionally, but you don't want on the chart for whatever reason, you can certainly turn some of them on or off, what the default year is, and what the orientation of the legend is. Is it at the top or at the bottom? I typically tend to have it at the top. But in either case, this just allows you to see where am I getting my leads and who are providing those leads. And that's really important for, knowing where you're spending your money. If you're putting money down on any of these sources, if you're spending a lot of money in a certain area and you're just not getting a return, then maybe you need to move those funds to a different area. Once again, I can just minimize any of these particular areas that I want to. The landing page stats shows you how many landing page entries that you've got pending if you don't have it set for automatic approval. If you do have it set for automatic approval, it'll show you how many were approved or have been approved, and any of them that were rejected if you don't have auto approval. Just some number crunching stuff. On each of these dashboard widgets, if there is a key indicator or two or three, depending on which widget it is, like for the landing page, the real key indicator would be how many pending items are there. If there's some action I need to take, I need to approve some, let's show that. So even if it's minimized, it will show you a key indicator on some of these. In this case, like the call list, how many calls, you can see this is just a demo account, but there's 47 past due calls. If that's the case, you need to deal with that and do stuff. But if I open it up, I can see not only the past due, but any of the other ones that's in there. Now, actually, call list does show the past due, the due today, but overdue. It was maybe, it was a time earlier than what the current time is. It goes into overdue, even though it's due today. And then anything that's not past due, but it is due today, will show on the due today. And those three items will show even if it's minimized. There'll be three items here if that is the case. Similar type of thing for the calendar stats. You can see how many are past due and then how many are overdue or whatever. These are things that are on your calendar that you need to deal with on a daily basis. If they have been dealt with, you'll see some numbers down here, but these items are kind of like informational, but not important, where the first three are. So whenever it's minimized, it will show up to those first three items on the counts as well. Similar type of thing for Outbox is the calendar, past due, due today. So every day you should come into your system. You should see what's on your dashboard and then look at those key elements that are really identified in the system as being important. You can see those key indicators real quickly, and you can drill down very quickly. Just making sure everything's on track and in place.